फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू द चैनल फिजिक्स बाय आईआईटियंस। हम लोग एडवांस लेवल क्वेश्चन की सीरीज में डे 2 और डे 3 की क्वेश्चन अभी डिस्कस करेंगे और कुछ डाउट्स थे इंटरव्यू रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन में, उस डाउट को भी हम इसी में सॉल्व करेंगे। तो सबसे पहले स्टार्ट करते हैं डे 2 का क्वेश्चन हम लोगों ने दिया था कि आपको एक जेनर डायोड दे रखा है जिसकी कट ऑफ वोल्टेज VZ 9 वोल्ट है, सप्लाई वोल्टेज आपको 12 वोल्ट दे रखी है और साथ में एक रेजिस्टेंस RS सोर्स रेजिस्टेंस लगा हुआ है। ये RL है जो कि वेरिएबल रेजिस्टेंस है, लोड रेजिस्टेंस। आपको कह रखा है कि जो जेनर डायोड है उसकी रेटिंग है 9 वोल्ट एंड उसकी जो मैक्सिमम पावर उसके अंदर से पास करती है वो है 0.27 वॉट। आपसे पूछा गया है कि जो RS अपने रेजिस्टेंस लगाया है, सोर्स रेजिस्टेंस, इसकी मिनिमम वैल्यू क्या होगी, इसका मिनिमम रेजिस्टेंस क्या होगा। तो इसको सॉल्व करने के लिए आप सिंपली देखिए क्या कर सकते हैं। सबसे पहले इसकी आपको मैक्सिमम पावर दे रखी है, इसके अक्रॉस जो कट ऑफ वोल्टेज है वो आपको दे रखी है। तो अब इस पावर और वोल्टेज का यूज करके इसके अक्रॉस कितना करंट जा रहा होगा वो कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं। मैक्सिमम करंट अगर आपको इसके अक्रॉस से मिल जाए तो मैक्सिमम करंट यहाँ पे तब होता है जब यहाँ का करंट आप मिनिमम रखो, जीरो लोड रेजिस्टेंस का करंट अगर जीरो है तो जेनर में से मैक्सिमम करंट पास करेगा। तो बेसिकली आपको मैक्सिमम करंट चाहिए। अगर मैक्सिमम करंट मिल गया तो फिर आप आसानी से KVL लगा के इसको सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। मैक्सिमम पावर 0.27 वॉट है, इसको आप लिख सकते हैं VZ into Imax। Imax मतलब मैक्सिमम करंट पासिंग थ्रू द जेनर। तो हमारा मैक्सिमम करंट हो जाएगा 0.27 बाई VZ दैट इज 9 वोल्ट। तो हमारा मैक्सिमम करंट है 30 मिली एम्पियर। इसके अक्रॉस 30 मिली एम्पियर का मैक्सिमम करंट पास कर रहा है। अब अगर हम रेजिस्टेंस निकालना चाहते हैं तो हम क्या कह सकते हैं कि इसमें से जो करंट जा रहा होगा वही हमारा मैक्सिमम करंट होगा। तो बेसिकली दिस करंट विल बी 12 minus 9 divided by this resistance. So RS can be written as VS, that is source voltage, minus VZ, the cutoff voltage, divided by the maximum current. So we know that VS is 12, VZ is 9, and Imax we have calculated 30 milliampere. So our minimum value of series resistance will be 100 ohm. This was the second day question, and it has been solved correctly by Syanika Mitra. This is her solution. DS, this is his solution. Now we are going to the day 3 question. Day 3 question we asked is a function that is given as fx equals to x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 3, and we define another function capital Fx that is integration of this function from limit 0 to x. So we need to find the characteristic of this capital X function, the Fx. So there are 4 options. Any number of options can be correct. We have to know that whether the Fx is not equal to 0 for all the x in the range 0 to 5. Fx has a local minima at x equal to 1. Fx has a local maxima at x equal to 2. Fx has 2 local maxima and 1 local minima. So this we have to calculate. So first, to know the value of local minima, local maxima, and also the nature of function that is increasing or decreasing, we need to derivate this function. We take the first derivative of this Fx function. As this is the integration of small ft, so the f dash x will be small fx, that is x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 5. If we put it equal to 0, so we know the values at x equal to 1, 2, and 5, our function's derivative is 0. Now we can take the second derivative of this function. So second derivative can be calculated by treating one term as constant and differentiating the other 2 terms. So we will get that x minus 2, x minus 5 plus x minus 1, x minus 5 plus x minus 1, x minus 2 will be the second derivative of this capital F function. Now we will know the sign of this second derivative at different cutoff points, critical points, that is x equal to 1. We will calculate the f dash x, so it will be coming positive. And similarly, we will calculate the f double dash x at x equal to 2, f double dash x at x equal to 5. So if we calculate this all, we will have that at x equal to 1 the sign is positive, at x equal to 2 the sign is negative, and x equal to 5 the sign is again positive. We know that if double derivative the sign is positive, we call this cutoff, the critical point, as minima, and if this is negative, the critical point is called maxima. So we have x equal to 2 as maxima point, x equal to 1 and x equal to 5 as minima point. So there are two minima at x equal to 1 and x equal to 5, and there is only one maxima, that is at x equal to 2. So the option D will be wrong, as it is saying that there are two local maxima and one local minima, but we have the reverse of this, that is two local minima and one local maxima. So the option D is eliminated. Option B and C are right. That is, we have a local minima at x equal to 1 and a local maxima at x equal to 2. So now we have to know the value, that whether option A is correct or not. Before that, this whole process can be simply calculated using a graphical representation. That is, this local minima, local maxima can be calculated with a different approach, that is here. First, we know the first derivative of the function, that is f dash x, that is x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 5. From this, we can calculate three critical points, that is x equal to 1, x equal to 2, and x equal to 5. So we will put these all on the number line in the increasing order, that is x equal to 1 will come here, x equal to 2 will come here, and x equal to 5 will come here. At the rightmost side of the greatest number, that is rightmost side of this 5, we will put a plus sign. Then we will change the sign alternatively, that is here plus, then we will put it here negative, then positive, then negative. So these negative positive signs represent the nature of the function. That is, if this f dash x is negative, we call it as decreasing function. If this f dash x is positive, we call this increasing function. F dash x less than 0, we call decreasing. F dash x greater than 0, we call increasing. So for x less than 1, it is decreasing. For x in the range 1 to 2, it is increasing. And for x in the range 2 to 5, it is decreasing. And again, for x greater than 5, it is increasing. So it is increasing in two intervals, from x greater than 5 and x in the range 1 to 2. And it is decreasing in these two intervals. So we can see that for decreasing function, the value of function is decreasing with increasing value of x. So at this point, we have a decreasing curve, and after 1, we have an increasing curve. So there will be a minima at this point. Similarly, at x equal to 2, we see that before 2, it is increasing, and after 2, it is decreasing. So there will be a maxima at this point. Similarly, at 5, it is decreasing before 5, and it is increasing after 5. So there will be a minima. Means if we have a valley type shape like this, decreasing then increasing, we call it a minima. And if we have a hill type shape, that is increasing then decreasing, we call it a maxima. So we can see that by just putting the signs on the number line, we can have the nature that where it is decreasing, where it is increasing. And if the function changed its nature from decreasing to increasing, the middle point is called a minima. And if the function changes its nature from increasing to decreasing, the middle point we call maxima. So simply by putting the signs on the number line, we can know that in which interval the function is decreasing, in which interval the function is increasing, at which points it has a maxima, at which point it has a minima. So the previous approach can be solved using this graphical approach as well. Now we have to know the option A, whether it is correct or not. So for that, we will have to know the exact value of fx. So fx or fu, that is integration 0 to u ft dt. So we know ft, we have to integrate this function. So we can integrate this by first expanding this whole x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 5. So, and after that, we will integrate it and put the limits from 0 to u. So our function fu will be u to the power 4 by 4 minus 8 by 3 u cube plus 17 by 2 u square minus 10 u. Now we will check whether the function crosses the x equal to 0 line or not. For crossing the line, the function has to change its nature. That is, at some point it is negative and at some point it is positive. So it means it has crossed the line at x equal to 0 in between the points. So we will try to calculate the fx at our critical points, that is x equal to 1, x equal to 0, x equal to 5, and x equal to 2. X equal to 0 and 5 are extreme points, and x equal to 1 and 2 are maxima or minima points. So if we calculate this function, so f equal to 1, 0, 2, or 5, we will have that at all these points, the function is less than 0. It shows that our function is not crossing the x equal to y equal to 0 line. It is always below the x-axis, that is, it is always negative. So our function at fx equal to not 0 for all x in the range 0 to 5 is correct. So the right answer of this question will be A, B, and C. The students who have correctly solved this question are, first is DS. He has calculated it correctly. A, B, C are his answer. Then PV, she has also calculated this question correctly. Then Shanika Mitra has also calculated. On our graph related question, we put a video on PhD interview question where we have to plot y equals to mod x and its first and second derivative on the same graph. Then we came to know that the y equals to mod x graph is like this, and y equals to if we take the derivative, that is y equals to mod x, that is minus x for x less than 0 plus x for x greater than equals to 0. And if we take the derivative, it is minus 1 and 1. So this graph will be like this, the first derivative of the function. And if we take the second derivative, then some students have a problem that how we are getting this 2 delta function, that we will know today. So delta function, as we all know, tends to infinity at x equal to 0. That is, if we reduce this width continuously, then we will have a point where this function is tending to infinity. But this area under the curve will always remain 1. That is, from minus infinity to infinity, delta x dx will always be 1. So delta x can be written in an equation form like limit delta tending to 0. Some delta means its width is, if we are reducing this width, so this delta tending to 0, 1 by delta. If we continuously reduce this limit and delta tending to 0, this will be infinite. So this is the definition of a delta function. Now, as per our question, we know that dy by dx is 1 for x less than 0, x greater than 0, and it is minus 1 for x less than 0. Now our aim is to find the second derivative of this function. First of all, we can define a derivative. That derivative of a function is defined as limit h tending to 0, f x plus h minus fx divided by h. And if we want to define the second derivative, this will be f double dash x is limit h tending to 0. In place of f, we will place f dash x. So f dash x plus h minus f dash x divided by h. From this definition, if we want to calculate the second derivative of this function at x equal to 0, so we will define it like this: limit h tending to 0. The first derivative at 0 positive means just after 0, minus first derivative at 0 negative means just before 0. So this value and this value, we will take the difference and divide it by h. And if we take the limit h tending to 0, this will give us the second derivative of the function. dy by dx 0 positive is 1, and dy by dx 0 negative is minus 1. And so we can say this function is discontinuous at x equal to 0, because it is changing its value from minus 1 to 1 at the same point. So this is 1, this is minus 1, it will be 2 by h, limit h tending to 0, 2 by h. As per our previous definition, limit h tending to 0, 1 by h is delta x. So this will be 2 times of delta x at x equals to 0. So if we plot these curves on the same graph, this graph will be look like this. The red line represents the y equals to mod x curve. The green lines represents the y equals to dy by dx curve, the first derivative of mod x. And this blue line or the delta function, 2 times of delta function, represents our second derivative. So friends, this is all for today's video, in which we have discussed 2 our advanced level questions and 1 interview related doubt. If you like this video, please like it and share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel. If you are familiar with our efforts and continuously following our channel, so you will know that it will help you in your clearing exams and interviews. So if you want to support us, you can support us by clicking on the link in the description below. Thank you.